Back at the hotel, he urgently shared every detail of the match with his mother, analyzing why he lost. He talked nonstop, but his mother on the bed did not respond until Beth walked closer and realized his mother lay there with eyes open, completely still. She had clearly stopped breathing. Fate had taken his family from him once more. On the plane back, Beth sat alone in the cabin and ordered his mother's favorite drink, a margarita. Once again, he was utterly alone in the world. Back in the empty house, a cup with his mother's lipstick mark was still on the table. Grief and loneliness washed over him like a flood. Then the phone rang. It was Harry, who he had beaten before. Harry had seen the notation from the recent final. He thought the loss was just a tactical error and offered to help train him to defeat Borgov decisively next time.
Where are you?
I'm on my way to the Phoenix Hotel. I'm moving to an apartment on Thursday. I can come by then.
Why don't you come over right now?
It briefly lifted the heavy atmosphere in the house. After his adoptive mother's death, he desperately needed something to hold on to. Harry brought rare chess books, analyzed in-game positions with him, pointed out his weakness of relying too much on instinct. Just like that, Harry became part of Beth's life. Their bond grew stronger each day. However, whenever Harry tried to show his feelings, Beth would always steer the conversation back to chess. After this happened many times, Harry finally understood. Beth's heart seemed completely consumed by chess. He was just a tool to her. In the end, he packed his bags and decided to leave, to continue with his own life. Before going, he gave Beth a book about a genius chess player.
He would stay up all night in Paris before his games, drinking in cafes and talking with strangers. And then he'd play the next day like a shark, well-mannered, well-dressed, moving the pieces with these small, ladylike hands, crushing one European master after another. You know what they called him? The pride and the sorrow of chess. And then he retired at 22.
You think that's gonna be me?
I think that is you. I think maybe it's always been you. Be careful, Beth.
Harry's departure, along with his struggle with pills and alcohol, sent Beth spiraling down again. He kept competing in tournaments. His performance was unstable, but knowing his limits was a foreign concept to him. At the International Championship in Ohio, he met Benny again, who he had once drawn with. They both fought their way to the final. This time, Beth put his pride aside and prepared thoroughly. He read Benny's interviews, studied his past tournament games. Even the night before the match, he played speed chess for $5 a game against him at a restaurant. That night, his luck was terrible. He lost game after game, but in the final the next day, he was sharp and focused. In fewer than 30 moves, he defeated Benny completely, wiping away the shame of their previous draw. And so, he became the true United States champion. He also earned the right to represent his country and challenged the world champion, Borgov. He knew that to beat such a strong opponent, he needed the best training. So he made a bold decision to go to Benny for special training. And so, he moved into Benny's basement apartment. The bathroom mirror was cracked. A strange smell hung in the air. Even though the place was a mess, Benny's training was extremely strict. He pushed him at the fastest pace, using the sharpest playing style, analyzing every habit of the Soviet players. Some of Benny's friends challenged him, suggesting a simultaneous exhibition, but Beth asked to speed it up, taking on 3 opponents at once, betting $10 if he lost. He ended up winning all 3 games easily. Benny looked at him with a complicated expression. There was admiration and also a hint of something hard to describe. Soon, the Paris tournament began. As the only female player, Beth became a target. At the press conference, someone said his flashy style was not suitable for a chess player.
I would say that it's much easier to play chess without the burden of an Adam's apple.
So how are you feeling about your match with Alec Berglund?
I'm looking forward to it.
Does that mean you think you can beat him?
It means that I have to beat him.
Miss Harman, do you feel good about rematch with Grandmaster Borgo?
Very good. I slept on the plane, so I arrived in Paris with no jet lag. I'm very well rested. At night, I stay in my room and study Mr. Borgov's old games.
Including the one against you in Mexico City?
I still be now, Pedro.
His confidence and sharpness stunned everyone. However, the night before his match with Borgov, a phone call shattered his focus. A friend invited him out for a drink, even though he knew the final was tomorrow. After struggling with the decision, Beth went anyway. That night of partying made him late for the match the next day. He rushed to get ready, and in his hurry, took 2 pills with whiskey. He ran all the way to the venue, pushed open the door to blinding camera lights. He forced himself to stay calm and walk to the board, remembering his talks with Benny. Borgov was great at the Sicilian defense, and so was he. But no amount of thinking could fix his condition. The hangover and pills left left his mind foggy. Borgov played carefully step by step and defeated him again. Losing twice to the same opponent made Beth doubt himself deeply. He went back home defeated, but before he could sort things out, his adoptive father showed up with a lawyer. He wanted the house back. During all the time his father was gone, Beth had taken care of his mother's affairs.
You adopted me. I didn't ask you to. You're my legal father.
The money in this house is mine. No smart-ass orphan's gonna take it away from me.
No, I'm not an orphan. I'm your daughter.
Not in my backyard.
To keep the house full of memories of his mother, Beth had to buy it from his father for a price much higher than it was worth. He sold almost everything he owned and even took on part-time jobs. Just when he was at his lowest, a group called the Crusaders came to him. They promised to pay for all his tournament costs, but on one condition: he had to represent Christianity in his matches. Benny's advice was to take the money. Beth finally agreed, but he felt trapped and afraid, so he began to self-destruct, spending all his time drinking. His room was in complete chaos until a call from the tournament organizers shook him out of his stupor. The next day, Beth showed up at the venue, looking terrible from the hangover. There, he met the first real opponent on his journey. She had heard about his matches and came specifically to thank him because Beth's existence let her see that women also had endless possibilities in the world of chess. Seeing the dream in her eyes, Beth was stunned for a moment. He ran outside for a smoke, but ran into Harry.
I even came by one time.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm worried about you.
What on earth for?
My dad drank. He wasn't mean or anything. He just got quiet and fell asleep in his clothes.
Okay.
You smell just like he did. Your eyes are just like his eyes. And your skin is... I said, I'm worried about you.
Sounds more like you're feeling a little sorry for me.
I didn't say that.
And I'm not the one that's supposed to be in college, not working in a supermarket.
I'm doing both. You know what? Yeah, I like working there. It's a good job and the people are nice.
Harry's words were like a mirror, showing him his worst self. Beth left without looking back. Back home, he closed the door, pulled the curtains tight, and sank back into a world of alcohol until loud knocking woke him up.
Jesus fucking Christ. Who the hell are you?
Jolene.
Jolene could hardly believe the state Beth was in. She brought heavy news.
Mr. Sharble died.
Even though they hadn't seen each other in years, Jolene still thought Beth should say goodbye. Mr. Shable's funeral was sadly empty. It showed how lonely his life had been. Beth went back to the orphanage and found himself walking into the familiar basement. A wave of guilt suddenly hit him. He remembered he still owed him $10. Then he saw something that shook him to the core. A whole wall covered with newspaper clippings about him, from his first state championship article to the big report on his national win. Mr. Shable had silently recorded his every step this way, keeping a pride he never spoke about. Behind that cold goodbye years ago was such a deep and silent love. The one who made him who he was always him, and he had never come back to see him. In Jolene's car, Beth held that photo, and finally the tears came. Before leaving for Moscow, the sponsors gave him a speech, demanding he read it, a statement of political stance, unwilling to be controlled. Beth wrote a check to pay them back and cut ties with the group. He decided to compete with a clear mind, but now with no money and a mortgage to pay, he could only call Benny for help, only to be yelled at. Benny shouted that he would rather drink himself to death than be with him. Beth then called the Chess Federation and the State Department, but was turned down. Jolene, hearing about his trouble, decided to give him the savings she had gathered for years.